Something I used to do regularly on this channel is to make a video whenever I began a new book. I called it a started video or a starting video. The idea was, before I read the book, I would make a video saying why I was interested in the book, why I picked it up in the first place, what my expectations about the book going into it were. And then I would read the book, and then I would make a second video reviewing the book after I had finished. So I had kind of a before and after video. I stopped doing that about a year ago now, largely just because I felt I didn't have a lot of time anymore. And to the extent I had time, I wanted to focus that time on just making the regular review videos. It is, to my mind, a temporary pause. I hope to get back into it someday, once I've got a little bit more time. But for the moment, it's still on pause, at least as a general principle. However, I'm going to make exceptions for when I'm starting projects. So if I'm doing a big reading project that's going to entail a lot of videos, I think it might still be useful to do a starting video. And so that's what this is. This is introducing this project I'm going to be working through, which is an anthology of Akkadian literature called Before the Muses. Now, my general principle with anthologies is to review each work separately. So when I pick up an anthology book that's actually several novels inside of one binding, I'll give each novel a separate review. But this isn't really novels. This is poems, fragments, a lot of different stuff. So it's a little bit unclear how to approach this as a review. Certainly it's too big to just review in one video. I mean, this thing is 1,000 pages long. It's with a lot of different stuff in here. I mean, just look at the table of contents. There's some introduction, then there's the archaic period and all the stuff in there, classical period, and all these different works here. And then the mature period. I mean, there is just a lot of stuff in this binding. So way too much stuff to just try and hold all my memory and then talk about at the end. On the other hand, I'm not sure everything in here needs its own separate review, especially because some of this stuff is only like a page long, or, some of this is just a few paragraphs. So, like the incantation against a disease of sheep and goats. I'm not going to make a whole video just to review this, for example. So I will be breaking this up into smaller chunks. Exactly what those chunks are, I haven't decided yet. I think at a minimum, I'll make videos talking about the different periods, and then some of the major stuff within the periods I might make videos on. I'll figure it out as I go. The other thing maybe to note here is there are a few things in this anthology that I have already read and reviewed in different volumes. For example, the Atrahasis, this is the flood poem. I already reviewed that in a separate book. The Epic of Creation, otherwise known as the Numa Elish, I already talked about that in a different book. The Anzu Epic, which is a book I got from the library, although the book I got did not include a translation of the original Akkadian. So that was a little bit of an awkward review, but I did talk about that. So the stuff I've already... one more. The Poem of the Righteous Sufferer, a.k.a. the Babylonian Job. I've already talked about that before in a separate video. So the stuff I've already talked about in other videos, I don't think I'm going to do new videos for those, especially because I've just reviewed those within the past few months. So I don't think I have anything new to say at this point about them. I'll be rereading them as I work my way through this volume, but I won't make videos about that. But I think there are some other major epics in this volume. And in fact, I know they are in here. Let me see if I can find it in the table of contents. The Edna epic, I've not read that one yet, but I know that's one of the major ones. The Descent of Ishtar to the Netherworld, again, that's another one I've not yet read, but know that's significant. So those ones, I guess, as I read them, I will probably make separate videos of. And then once I finish the whole anthology, I'll make one summative video trying to summarize this whole thing. And hopefully I'll be able to finish this whole book before I have to return it to the library. It's a big book. I'm a slow reader, so I'm going to be running against the clock here. I'm assuming I'm going to have to renew it a few times. I assume I'm not going to have any trouble with that, but we'll see how it goes. If I do have to return it to the library before I can finish it, then I guess I'm going to have to make a DNF video on this. But hopefully it won't come to that. And if it does, it does. I'll just make the videos as it turns out. So this is my new reading project, an anthology of Akkadian literature.